Hello, goddess. You are destined to be wildly wealthy and free. Yes, you. This is for those who know they have a contract with God to make a big impact in this world. You've known this your whole life. Let me just break down exactly what your soul came here to experience. And you can let me know if this resonates in the comments. This is not for everyone. Your soul incarnated in this lifetime and basically said, I'm going to go forth and I'm going to experience a lot of turbulence. I'm going to experience the lack and the scarcity and the abandonment and the betrayal and all of the things. And I'm going to be activated and catalyzed on this journey and catapulted into my power. I'm going to go through the sacred rebirth. I'm going to walk through the fire of purification. I'm going to choose myself over and over and over again until there is nothing left but divine union within as the love that I am. And when that happens, when I fully claim my truth, I will rise into my sovereign power and I will leave a legacy and make an impact in my wake that others will be able to benefit from for generations to come. I will create so much sacred wealth and be so well resourced in this incarnation that I will be able to circulate it in such a way that makes a massive impact for others. This is what you came here to do. You were never meant to be successful in the old paradigm. You were meant to go through the trials and the tribulations and walk the fire of purification and go through the sacred rebirth and choose yourself and claim your divine sovereignty over and over and over again. You were meant to plug all of the energetic leaks. You were meant to see where you have been self abandoning. You were meant to choose yourself over and over and over again until you finally come home to the truth at the core of your being, which is you are what you've been seeking this whole time. And that, goddess, is just the beginning. Your new life starts now. You literally incarnated in this lifetime space reality, in this incarnation for this very moment. Yes, this very moment. This is a timeless message because many will be moving into this wave in the apparent future, right? But this is also a very timely message because you are part of what I refer to as the 1% of feminine leadership. Not everyone is encoded to be walking this path right now, but you are here to rise into your sacred embodiment, your sacred wealth era. You're here to be well resourced. You're here to make a big impact with your message and your gift. You're meant to be seen. You're meant to be heard. You're meant to be in the spotlight. You're meant to be sharing your message. You're meant to be speaking your truth. You're meant to be creating with the divine, co creating through your embodied divinity as the living transmission of God in form, your goddess frequency. Your soul agreed to this before incarnating. You are here to lead a new earth. You have a contract with God to rise, and you have just been pinged by the divine to show the F up in your power, in your strength, in your perfection, in your authenticity, and share your truth and share your voice and share your message. And if this is resonating with you and you still feel like you're earlier on in the journey, maybe you're, going through the throes of ascension, dark night of the soul and all of that, or you're stuck somewhere in the sacred in between, which really isn't stuck. That's a purification process in order to fully rise into your highest divine reality. If this is still resonating, it's because this is what you're moving into. None of this is happening on accident. Your life hasn't occurred on accident. You didn't experience everything that you went through on accident. You experienced everything that you went through so that you could have a level of empathy and compassion as you relate to others, as you rise into being the light leader that you are. You're meant to be a living example. You're meant to be an example of abundance and prosperity and wealth and divine love. You're meant to break the 3D romantic template that is based on transactional love and codependency. You're meant to thrive and rise and be an example of divine greatness in human form, divine love in human form, divine perfection in human form, divine prosperity and abundance in human form, divine well being in human form. Yes, you are here to have it all. You are here to experience it all on your terms in whatever way lights you up, which is going to look different for everyone. Your version of wealth, your version of embodiment, your version of what your dream reality, divine reality looks and feels like is unique to each and individual soul expression. But one thing that it will be is you being fully authentic as you, showing up full on in your embodied divinity, speaking your truth, shining the light by your own example, being the frequency transmission of divine truth and divine love in physical form. You are here to be in divine union, not only internally, but also externally. And that is the byproduct of internal divine union. You are here to live it and to breathe it and to transmit it on such a level that you impact millions just by existing, just by the frequency that you are emitting. And you will be called. God will call you. God has already called you. You already know you're being called. You already know you have been called. You This would resonate with you. If this resonates with you, you've known this your whole life. You've been being prepared for something much larger than yourself, and it's been kept from your vision for so long because it's that big. You're meant to shine beyond what the mind ever thought possible. And if you would have even known this earlier on, you would have sabotaged it because you were still operating from the old wounded identity. You will know if this message is for you because you have been choosing yourself over and over again for a long time. You've gone through the purification process. You have been through the dark night of the soul. You have alchemized, you have purified, you have chosen yourself, you have chosen truth, you have chosen freedom over and over and over again. You have plugged the energetic leaks, so to speak, like I like to share with my clients. And you have no problem being visible. You have no problem speaking and sharing, but now you're being called to fully own your destiny, like what you know you came here to be an example of. That's going to look different for everyone. But now it's time to own it. Now it's time to show up as it. Now it's time to shine your light. There's no hiding. The hiding is over. You're here to shine. You're here to be wildly wealthy, free, abundant in all ways, not just external monetary abundance. That is a natural byproduct. You are here to feel so wealthy, so rich, so abundant in your own beingness, in your own heart, that you lack nothing, that you need nothing. And that is when paradoxically everything gets magnetized by the frequency of your aura through resonance, through coherence. This is what you came to be an example of. The divine counterpart, it's already done. Your purpose-filled mission, it's already done. The sacred wealth, it's already done. The life filled with feminine ease and flow and being able to play and create and live on your own terms, it's already done. This message is for the select few. I call it the 1% that are really leading this paradigm, and others will be following in your footsteps. And you're here to be a sacred mirror for those. But it's time to rise and step up. The only thing holding you back at this point is a belief that you are still somehow tethered to this old identity. You most likely have not grown up, if you're listening to this, with being wealthy, wild, and free as your experience. You've been conditioned to go through so many trials and tribulations where you have transcended scarcity and lack and unworthiness and separation consciousness. And this was all by divine design. Nothing is on accident. Your soul is coded for this. This is your destined path. You are here to lead New Earth. You are a New Earth human. Your New Earth human expression is not rooted in lack or scarcity or playing small or anything along those lines. I see people comment on this YouTube channel where they will accept abundance or prosperity in the form of experiences, but not monetary. And that is, I'm not speaking to you if that's the case, and there's nothing wrong with that, but you are here to be well resourced. You are here to be rich in all ways that you don't even realize yet, because you are here to make a big impact, and you are not here to demonize or reflect or reject any form of abundance, because God is ready for you to be wealthy beyond what you thought possible, because your mind has never been able to wrap your head around this yet, because it's not what your past has shown to be possible for you. You are meant to be so well resourced and so wealthy so you can make the positive impact that you are here to make. You will know this is for you because you know in your heart the financial abundance that's on its way into your experience is like the least important thing. The thing that's most important is that you are so aligned with your divine calling and with your divine power, and that you get to co create with God every single day in a way that feels so abundant, so free, so sovereign, that you are no longer trapped by the 3D matrix at all. And if that lights you up, then this transmission is for you. The money, the relationships, the counterparts, the collaborations, the partnerships, the business opportunities, all of it comes as a byproduct. And it's all, those are all the bells and whistles. You're here to live and be God in human form and express your divinity through your creative expression, through your voice, through your frequency, through your transmission, through your art, through your magic, through your medicine. Let me take a sip. And God is ready to divinely compensate you for that when you begin to show up as the identity that you know you are, your divine identity. I call this not the identity of the separate self, not the identity of the wounded identity that still has all the stories and the lack and the excuses and the justifications and the sabotaging tendencies. The divine identity, meaning you show up as God expressing through you. There is no playing small. God doesn't play small. God doesn't hide. God doesn't dim her light. God doesn't people please. God doesn't run away. This isn't about being perfect. This is about being real. This is about being courageous. And this is about being authentically you. That's what this is about. It doesn't matter how many followers you have or where you're showing up or what you're creating. It matters the frequency that you are creating it in, and that you are following your pleasure and your joy and your fun and what lights you up. Your new earth, quote unquote, business, which you've heard me say this before if you've been following me for a while. You're not here creating a business, you're fulfilling a prophecy. Okay. And your new earth business is not going to be, you in this performance identity trying to figure everything out and make things happen, or coming from lack, scarcity, or fear, or anything like that. The only thing that is being asked of you now is to fully embody your divine expression. And it's not your divine expression, it's you expressing as God. So, for example, the one of my highest tier, highest proximity in-person containers is called the Goddess Standard. The Goddess Standard is, yes, about plugging all of the energetic leaks and accepting nothing less than the best, because that is what you deserve. Sit with that for a second. You deserve nothing less than the best. That is what God wants to give you. That is what God is asking you to be open to receive. And the only way you would be rejecting it is because a feeling of unworthiness. And you're being asked to know right now you are worthy of receiving and living the life beyond your wildest effing dreams. You are here to fly so high and spread your wings and explore this 3D reality with so much joy, so much passion, so much curiosity, so much play. You're not here to play small. You're not here to play small. I know who I speak to, and I speak to the leaders. I lead the leaders of this new paradigm. And for those that are resonating with this transmission, it's time to move into your highest divine expression. The Goddess Standard, for example, is not about you. Yes, it's about plugging energetic leaks, because that's where you're leaking your frequency and accepting nothing but the best, because that's what you truly deserve, is nothing but the best in all areas of your life. In any place you are not open to receiving that, there is a limited belief there around your worthiness. But it's not about you showing up to serve God. This is a fine nuance. It's not about you showing up to serve God. It's about you showing up as God. There's a big difference there in human form. You you living your highest divine expression is your service, is your divine service. You being in service to the one that lives within you, that animates your being, that created you, is you being of highest service. There is no more room for people pleasing, giving your power away, or self abandonment in any way. You showing up for you, you creating what you love to create, you doing what you love to do. This is the era of your pleasure business. This is going to be a whole separate transmission, but this is about you doing what lights you up and brings you joy and brings you pleasure, and living in your divine expression and creating from there what lights you up and feels like fun and feels like joy. Nothing less than that will do in the 5D. You're not here. There's no martyr energy. You're not here to save everyone. You're here to shine your light so brightly and emit a frequency so potent and so true that anyone within uh, uh, vibrational, what's the word I'm looking for? Vibrational, uh, vibrational resonance, vibrational like proximity to you will be activated at a core soul level, and they won't even know. They won't even know, but you will know because you see this. You see how powerful it is when you walk as the Christ itself, and you see love not only in yourself but in everyone else. This is the power of you walking as embodied divinity. What you are doing right now is you are collapsing the gap between what I refer to as sometimes kingdom consciousness and divine creation. You are collapsing the gap there, and you are living, breathing, and walking as the transmission. This is the highest level of feminine leadership. This is ascension leadership. This is new earth leadership. It is completely uh, pioneering a whole new form of leadership as we know it. That's how powerful this is. That's how powerful you are. That's how courageous your soul is when it incarnated with this mission. You're about to see why you had to go through everything, and why you had to go to the deepest, darkest um, shadows and experience all of it. And you will have nothing but gratitude and full body chills and tears of joy as things begin to pile into your experience, as blessings begin to pour in. The one thing I heard before I hit record on this is that there are divine blessings ready to pour into your experience, and it's time to know that you are worthy of receiving them. Without a doubt, there is no room for doubt. There is no room for fear. You are here to be well resourced, and you are meant to be seen and heard in your power and in your divine greatness. Your voice is meant to be heard. Your magic is meant to be felt and shared, and you are meant to be experienced by those that are ready to shine and rise within their own expression. So that's the message that's coming through. If this is for you, then you are part of this collective. If this is resonating with you and you feel like maybe you're not quite there yet as far as stepping into your power, or you're unmantling a dismantling, not unmantling, dismantling a lot of the untruths and falsehoods, and you're dissolving a lot of that to step fully into your sovereignty. Just know that if this is resonating with you at a core level, this is what you're shifting into as you shift in as the next wave into new earth frequency. And you are here to live by example as a new earth human. You are here to build the new earth through your frequency. So it doesn't matter where you're at on the spectrum. I speak to the same souls in different stages of the game. so to speak, right? And it doesn't matter where you're at. If you're resonating with this, it's because it's destined for you. It's part of your soul's blueprint, what you agreed to experience before incarnating here on earth. So I hope this resonated. If you were part of this soul family, if you're part of the 1% that's here to be the first new earth human that leads and starts to plant the seeds for others to follow in their footsteps, and you are leading this wave, then I would love to hear from you. Regardless of what stage you're in, it doesn't matter. We're all this was all divinely designed. There's no hierarchy here. I want to say that there's no hierarchy. There's some that were destined to lead. There's some that were destined to be the second wave and the third wave, and we were designed to be sacred mirrors for each other, to rise collectively. This is, I'm getting full body chills right now. There is no hierarchy. There is no specialness here. We are rising as one, and there are different waves of it happening as we move into new earth. So it doesn't matter what phase of the journey you're in, whether you're just embodying your divine sovereignty and you're finally, starting to choose yourself, and you're recognizing some of the feminine shadow and the patterns that have been keeping you from fully um, coming into inner divine union. Beautiful. If you're moving into the sacred void, the sacred in between, because the 4D is no longer resonating with you and you're stuck in that limbo where nothing is making sense, but you know that you can't go back. Beautiful. That's part of this process too. And the rising above it all, when you fully rise into your power and your divine sovereignty, there's nothing left to do but be the highest frequency and play and create and follow your joy and be the living example of what you came here to be a living example of, which is embodied divinity, fully embodied in divine love, divine truth, divine sovereignty. Yes, with divine counterparts, with divine collaborations, with divine partnerships, with divine prosperity, with divine wealth, with divine wellness, with all of it. This is ultimately what you came here to be an example of. And there's a purification process that is part of this. And sometimes it's not pretty. A lot of times it's not pretty. It hasn't been pretty. I can say over here, it's been tumultuous. It's been painful. There's been suffering. There's been unnecessary suffering. There's been all kinds of growth and um, transformation and alchemy and rebirth along this journey. I started to, just a little side note over here, awaken in 2012 to the truth, and started to channel very profoundly in 2014. Set the intention I was only available for the highest frequency to come through, not dabble in astral or anything like that. And that has been quite a journey already, with many, many rebirths prior to ever even meeting, being activated by the twin flame catalyst then in 2019, which felt like a whole nother Kundalini awakening all over again, even though the first Kundalini started in 2012 and 2013. So when I share this with you, I'm sharing this with you because I've walked it and I've been into the depths of despair over and over and over again. I'm not projecting that that has to be your journey. I'm just saying that it can be for many, the dark nights of the soul and the ego deaths and the collapsing and the tower moments and being stripped of all of your attachments. That is kind of an earmark for being a chosen one and being a starseed and leading, because all of the abundance and the wealth and the prosperity and all of that that begins to pour in as you fully embody your divine sovereignty, um, it only comes after you've been stripped of your attachments, because you can't have the attachments to any of those things to get through that eye of the needle. You don't need anything outside of yourself, and this is how you know you're at the tipping point of this and you're ready. Like, this transmission is for those that are so in peace and so in inner union, right? Like, now, it's always now. You are here. You are here. You are now. You are anchored in so much divine peace and an inner union, that you are wealthy. You are rich in so many ways already. You don't seek it, you don't need it, and that's why it can come to you now. Same with divine partnerships and counterparts. So if this is popping in for you, drop a comment, because I would love to hear from you as it materializes in the 3D world, because you no longer come from a place of chasing or seeking or needing or longing or trying to fix and figure everything out, and you are resting as the divinely sovereign being that you are, fully, fully human, fully, fully divine simultaneously. This is paradoxically when everything can flow into your experience. And the one thing I did here before I recorded this is that you just need to show up in your power and your authenticity and in your truth and in your realness now, and stop to, there's no more playing small. There are divine blessings that are pouring into your experience, and it's about you being worthy of receiving them and knowing that you are worthy of receiving them. And this is destined. There will be prosperity and divine blessings pouring in for many that are resonating with this transmission and are at this tipping point, so to speak, that I'm pointing to. Okay, so the last thing I'll share is like, yeah, when I'm sharing this from walking this path for well over a decade, almost 13 years now, 14 years. And even prior to that, all the way since 2008, um, prior to even like the Kundalini awakening, there was an opening spiritually that there was a lot of tower moments and things that have come into my experience all the way since 2008, and each one served as like a portal into peeling away another layer of distortion. So 2008 and beyond, this has been quite the journey, quite the roller coaster, quite the experience, and I wouldn't trade a second of it, not a second of it. And if you are here with me, I know that you feel the same. You wouldn't trade a second of it, and you are about to see why you had to go through everything that you went through, and you're about to be blessed in ways that you don't realize. Things are queued up in the quantum for you right now. You have to just be open to receive and know that you're worthy. It's already on its way. It's finished. It's done. There's nothing you have to do to be this. Like, you're going to be guided to show up and be in your power and in your truth, however that looks for you. It's just time to claim that, know that, and that's it. Like, it's, you're already doing it. So this is just maybe a little confirmation that maybe you needed, maybe you didn't need, or maybe someone's listening to this that's the next wave coming up and knows that this is what she's always known in her heart, and this is what she's moving into. I don't know who is meant to receive this entirely. Whenever you land on this, I do trust and know that there are no coincidences, there are no accidents. Whatever part resonated with you, you can take that as truth if you wish to, and if it doesn't resonate with you, then you don't have to, right? This is me just sharing what was so powerfully activated, and something that was just, I had to hit record on this because wow, you're just, I'm part of this collective as well, and I can feel it, and I felt it for a long time, and I've known it for a long time. I've known about this 5D shift for years. As soon as I remember seeing a license plate last August that was like, I remember walking in the gym and walking into the parking lot at the gym, and I saw wait for it, like wait for it, and then the shift, and I was like, oh, here we go. And that was like last August, like right before, like, yeah, like so much shifted for the collective. And I knew exactly what that meant. It was like just an instant inner knowing. It was like what my soul has been prepared for lifetimes, and your soul has too. This isn't your first rodeo. It's not your first incarnation. This is the lifetime you came to play at the highest level. You're not here to dim. You're not here to hide. You're not here to play small. And your soul won't let you, because there is so much on the other side of you just fully owning and claiming and being what you already know is true. It's just time to calibrate to that frequency inwardly. That's it. And that will naturally guide you to share and show up in whatever way you're guided to share and show up. So if you felt this, and this was confirmation for you, if you felt this and this is, you're part of this collective, regardless of what phase you're in, then go ahead and drop wild, wealthy, and free in the comments. I would love to hear from you. And I hope this finds you well. Namaste.